Hi, my name is Stephan, a third-year student of Ashesi, and I'm the project lead for hydroponics in the D Lab. So the big question is, what is hydroponics? Hydroponics is basically a method of growing crops without soil. And to make this work, you basically need to provide an alternative mode of support for the crops. So you can use an inert material like gravel, for instance. And then the nutrients have to be provided to the crops through a nutrient solution. So this solution has to run under the crops continuously so that the crops get an opportunity to absorb the nutrients. The continuous flow of the nutrients also ensures that the nutrient solution can get some dissolved oxygen into it, which is needed for the crop's growth. So then the question is, why hydroponics, right? Why go to the extra length of taking crops out of their natural environment just to grow them in a nutrient solution? So the main reason why hydroponics allows you to provide the exact amount of nutrients that the crops need. So this makes it possible for the crops to yield the maximum. So providing too little nutrients or too much nutrients will adversely affect the amount of yield you can get. The other advantages of providing the exact amount of nutrients is the crops actually grow 25% faster and about 30%, they give out about 30% more yield than when you grow them in the soil. Another advantage is hydroponics saves a lot of water, way more water than you would with regular growing methods. So with regular growing methods, you lose a lot of water to evaporation and water seeping into the soil. But then with hydroponics, you have the nutrient solutions circulating through the system. So basically, water is not lost. And one of the major advantages of hydroponics is you can expand vertically instead of laterally. So that allows you to save a lot of space. So now there are a lot of fancy reasons why hydroponics, right? So a lot of efficiency, you can go up instead of laterally, save a lot of space. But why really should you go to the extent of doing this? And I have a personal reason for choosing hydroponics, and that's to create a symbiosis between technology and nature. So for those who don't have a background in biology, symbiosis basically talks about an interrelationship between plants where one plant helps the other and vice versa. So now we have a situation where technology destroys nature. We've seen that in a lot of cases in fossil fuels and a whole lot of other things. But then we can create a situation where technology actually makes it easier for nature to exist. So in this case, hydroponic technology is going to make it easier for plants to exist by giving them the optimum conditions they need to grow. And by doing this, they grow faster and all the other benefits that I mentioned. So the other question too now is, why hydroponics in Ghana? Because Ghana has a whole lot of arable land, right? I'm pretty sure we should be able to do well with what we have already. But I would argue that the fact that we have arable land is the very reason why we shouldn't be growing crops on the said arable lands. So now, the explanation to that. We already know the current state of the climate. We are cutting down a lot of trees and we're burning a lot of fossil fuels, which is increasing the carbon in the atmosphere. Now, agriculture is also one of the major causes of deforestation in the world. If you consider the amount of increase in the population that's about to come, it becomes very infeasible to keep growing crops in the soil, because you basically have to cut down almost every living tree just to grow food for the increasing population. Now, using a method like hydroponics minimizes the amount of land you need. First of all, because you get to expand vertically instead of laterally, and you produce more because of the optimized conditions. And another thing is, in Africa especially, agriculture isn't that efficient. So we have a whole lot of small-scale farmers doing their small stuff is not very optimized. A lot of them don't follow the prescribed methods of agriculture, and this is negatively affecting the amount of output Africa is able to produce. So you find a situation where countries or continents with much less arable land are able to produce way more than we are able to in Africa. And the main reason is efficiency, because we are not using the best methods to produce our food. And this is going to negatively affect us in the long run as the population increases. So using a method like hydroponics helps us to eliminate this inefficiency and opens up a lot of avenues for more economic benefits and an increase in more skilled jobs. And finally, one of the main reasons why I'm taking up this hydroponic initiative is to change the outlook of agriculture, because generally in Ghana especially, if you mention agriculture, people think you have a hoe and cutlass and you're cutting weeds and planting stuff in the soil, that kind of stuff. Usually the inefficient things, but that's not what agriculture is limited to. Agriculture is a very wide area that's open to a lot of things like automation especially. And using a technique like hydroponics makes it very feasible to add such technology. So instead of thinking of agriculture as simply hoes and cutlasses, you can also think of agriculture in terms of automation. You can think of it in terms of IoT and machine learning. All these things come together to improve the efficiency and basically make agriculture look cooler than it does at the moment. Thank you.